There we are. Hey everyone. This is April, your cat health coach, and Stubby, the famous Bam Bob. Yeah, you're famous, aren't you? And we're gonna do a video today on retraining your cat to use the litter box. And now there's so many reasons, too many reasons for one video as to why, sorry, can't see my face very well there, as to why your cat may be having some litter box behavior issues. But after working with a client this week, it sparked me to do a video on this particular issue and show people how to retrain your cat to use the litter box. So there's many reasons why this particular situation can happen, but typically a retraining situation is going to be when you've adopted a new kitten. And in this case with my kitty coaching client that I was doing, she had 2 other cats and had just recently brought home the new kitten, and within a short period of time the new kitten wasn't using the litter box and was having accidents outside the litter box around the house. So one of the first things you want to consider if this is happening, especially if this is a new kitten that you've adopted, is be sure that you reach out to your breeder and you know what kind of cat litter that they were using on the cat. That's often a fairly easy, common mistake to make, is to not pay attention to that information that your breeder gave you, or just forget if they told you what cat litter, especially if you had other cats in the house. You know, you might not think of it and just use whatever litter you're used to. But especially on today's market, there's so many different litters. I don't even know. There's probably, I'll have to look that up one day, but I would say at least like 100 different types of cat litter. So, you know, that can be a very big deal to a kitten that was raised for 3-4 months on one litter to suddenly have something completely different texture. And cats are so sensitive to, especially our hairless breeds, because of their, you know, little naked feet. And they're so sensitive to the granules and the size and everything in the litter. So that's something to pay attention to. And then if that's the case, then you may be able to just switch that litter to what your breeder was using and your kitten might be fine. But if not, if that doesn't work, then typically all that needs to be done is a retrain session, because perhaps the kitten was not put into quarantine at all, or not into quarantine long enough. So they were just kind of overwhelmed with the household. You know, most of these kittens may only be in one room for most of their rearing, so that they learn the litter box and behaviors appropriately in one room, and they stay quarantined and safe in there with their mama. So they come home to a new house, and, you know, suddenly they may be upgraded from a, you know, I don't even know the average size room, a 300 square foot room maybe, to a 2,000 square foot house. You know, it can suddenly be a lot for them, and they literally can be known to be playing over somewhere and like run out of time to make it to the litter box, or forget where the litter box is. So in this situation, what you're gonna do is you're gonna need to put your kitty into a spare room, like a guest room, or even in your bedroom if you want. But there needs to be no other pets in the room. So if your other cats don't sleep with you in your room, that's fine. Even a spare bathroom or even a laundry area will work. And your kitty is not going to love it and not going to be really thrilled with you, which was a concern of the person I was working with this week. But it's only for a short period of time, 7 days, and it's incredibly better than dealing with litter box behavior issues for you and for the cat, you know, for ever, years to come. And, you know, the number one reason that it said that cats are given to shelters is for litter box behavior issues. So please, 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 if you're having a litter box behavior issue, be sure that you address it very quickly, because, you know, any type of these behaviors, especially once they start going in certain places, it just confounds the behavior and makes it even more difficult to break. So you're going to set up the kitty in the room, and importantly too is you're gonna, I might have to put you down, buddy. Yeah, he loves our little video snuggle times. Let's see where you want to go. And one of the most important things too that I'll find people unknowingly make a mistake on is having too large of a litter box for a kitten, especially if you're adopting a Bambino kitten, like from Little Nudist, and they're short to the ground. They have a difficult time getting into big litter boxes. So here's a couple examples of some good kitten litter boxes. Just square or rectangle, flat. You can have a shield guard, but the ones that don't make it very high in the front is good. There's example 1 and example 2. And so you want to set your kitty up in the room actually with 2 litter boxes, not just 1, 2. You want to do this, you know, kind of overkill, make sure they have plenty of options, plenty of places to go. So when you put them in the room, you're going to put them in there with whatever litter you were using, if it was, you know, the correct litter like I already addressed. And then the second box, you're going to use a cat attractant litter. This is the brand that I recommend. There are some other ones out there, but this is the one that I've loved for years and personally use, Dr. Elsie's. And this one in particular is not the special attractant litter. This is the one I use for Stubborn. He doesn't have any issues using the box, so I don't need that one. But the company makes this litter in a special cat attractant brand that they've added different extra smells to it, basically, that help to attract your cat back to the proper behavior of using the litter box. So you'll use 1 box with that, 1 box with your original litter, and leave them in there for 7 days. You know, obviously set up their bed, their food, their water, everything, their toys, and spend as much time with them as you can. But the purpose of this is to force them to use the litter box again. Usually when they're confined in a smaller area, they're not going to go outside the litter box, especially when there's 2 litter boxes there. And it only takes a few days to get them back in the habit of using the box again. And then once you've successfully done the 7-day retrain period, then I have people just slowly let the cat back out of the room for supervised times. So an hour the first day, and do your best to try to keep an eye on them and their litter box behavior. And then 2 hours the next day, 3 hours the next day, 4 hours. And you know, once you're good on 4 hours, and most people can't do longer than that because they're going to work as well, and everything's good by that 4th day, then you can release them back out into the main house and general population, and everything should be good. So in a period of only 10 days, you can get your cat retrained successfully to the litter box. You know, and there's just so many reasons, like I said before, why there can be litter box behavior issues. So in this case, this is all that kitten needed. This worked perfectly. Within 7 days was completely rectified of the situation. Other times it may be a little bit more difficult, but one thing you're going to want to do is, once you let your kitten or cat back out, and if you do have other cats, you know, during that supervised time, that's very important, because you may be able to watch and see, is there some other behavior going on? Is one of your other cats perhaps protecting the litter boxes and making that particular cat nervous to use the box? You know, so you can formulate other assessments then. And that being said, when you let the cat out of the room that you're retraining, just leave the 2 litter boxes in the room like they were. So if they felt more comfortable out running around the house, but then needed to go and they felt like they wanted to go back into that area to use the litter box, then they can. So that helps for a smoother transition too. And then you'll be able to see whichever litter the cat might prefer. They might prefer the new litter, versus the old litter, then that's fine. Just keep the one box with the new cat attract litter and place that, either keep it right in that room if you can keep the door open, or place that in a good, very quiet, private area of the house for them. So, okay, that was retraining your cat to use the litter box, and hopefully that helps a lot of people out there. And, you know, like I said, there's so many reasons why this can be an issue, and I've worked with so many people through the years to help get their cats properly using the litter box again. So if you have a case in a situation where this solution doesn't work, then feel free to reach out. Okay, everyone, happy kitty days. Bye.